What's up, you guys? Welcome back to WideBody Nation Leases. I get so many questions, so many DMs, so many comments on leases, even people who dislike the videos because they're like, give me info on leases. So here is your video. Now, I've done a couple other videos on leases, so this one is going to be targeted for right now, the end of 2021. How to get you a good deal on a lease, potentially, or perhaps it will push you in another direction, perhaps pay cash or finance a car. So this video is attempting to give you the most information on leasing and essentially rehearsing how you would go about getting the most informed before you go into lease negotiations with your dealership. Now, speaking of negotiations, I negotiated a great deal on my 2021 Hellcat Redeye Charger. It was one of the first ones to hit the ground in the nation, but mine was stolen because the thieves broke in simply through the window, disconnected the battery, and then pulled the neutral strap that is right under your coin holder, right next to your automatic car. If you have an 8-speed automatic in your MOPAR, there is a little coin slot or phone slot, whatever you want to call it, and they will literally pull up the red lever, and now your car that has a $20,000 or $30,000 motor in and of itself is now in neutral. And they'll push it away with a car, a person, or winch it up onto a tow truck, which is the third one. They winched it up onto a tow truck is what they did to mine. So if you guys are not willing to spend 30 to 40 bucks to protect your Scat Pack, Hellcat, Charger, Challenger, or 300C, then that is you making the conscious choice to potentially have your car stolen like mine was stolen. And yes, this product was developed by Destroyer 1320 because he was there when my car got stolen. So we're making something good out of it. Check it out. Use code WBN for 20% off on Destroyer1320.com. With that being said, Ashboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Why do I use this website? Well, this is actually where I got potentially the best lease deal of all time for my buddy. He is also in the Army. He had a little fun overseas recently, but that's all we'll say about that. Thank you. And their website actually is relatively user-friendly for Dodge websites, at least. Because you guys know Dodge websites it's like Windows XP. Come on, Bill Gates. Anyway, we have this school bus mustard color Challenger, which is apparently it's called Gold Rush, but it looks like mustard to me. No offense. Anyway, we are going to use this as our example because, as you guys know, we actually use cars as examples. I'm not just going to talk out here in Fugazi land. I'm going to show you how to get informed before you get to the dealership. So, the the MSRP of this car, I'll roll you guys up ahead of me. $59,320. Before we jump down into the rabbit hole here with calculations with the beep boop bop boops, we have other websites that are going to help you see kind of how misleading some websites are and how good other websites can be, because I think you guys should use all the tools in this video or else you're going to be tripping when you go into the dealership. Next, we are on the Dodge website. I basically live here. at this Dodge website, even though they don't update it for like 3 or 4 or 5 months. This blue one, I use the colors to differentiate them. This blue one is the exact same spec as this car, but I want you guys to notice the price difference once we get down to the bottom and I do the calculate payment on the Dodge website versus the dealer website, okay? Because that is a super frequent DM that I get. They'll be like, hey yo, what's up WideBody Nation? Your videos are hilarious. Awesome jokes. Also, the Dodge website says that I can get into a Hellcat for $530 a month on a lease. And I have to break it to them that those numbers are literally taken from Fairyland, from Bananaland, and just put onto Dodge's web. I do not know what their calculations are, but they are not correct, okay? Now, technically, your lease payment could be that low if you did a massive down payment or if you had a good trade-in value, positive equity. But like, usually when I'm talking to you guys for this, it's usually I try to sterilize, try to sanitize, try to simplify these deals so that I'm giving you kind of like the most likely and the most reasonable scenario, so that then you can sprinkle on your negotiation sauce or your good trade-in or whatever it may be, your employee discount or military, firefighter, for first responder, whatever, discounts, and then get an even better deal, okay? So sorry for the long primer, but we are going to use Ashborough's, like a legit dealership with a legit car. Then we're going to use the same car, but on Dodge's website, and I triangulated it, and this is actually the same car, this yellow, the mustard school bus gold yellow, as this. This is literally the car, and it says in transit, just like it does right here. Beep boop bop boop, it says in transit somewhere here. I didn't lie, I know it says it somewhere on this, all right, doesn't matter. Same deal, I can pull up the VIN for you, ends in 489, and this VIN ends in 489. So there you go, same car. Again, there's 3 separate areas: Dodge website, and the dealership website. I'm already getting hot here because I'm just on a roll. Leases will get you hot and bothered. You got to hustle for these lease deals, okay? So we will now go back to Chrysler's website, to the Ashboro website. The Ashboro, this is North Carolina. They've only got a few cars on the lot, pretty much like everybody else. Okay, go down to payment options, which I'll scroll it up far enough so y'all can see. There's a bug in here I've been packing all day. All right, so get rid of this fake news. All right, so when you are on their website, this is just an example. Obviously, a lot of dealerships may vary, especially if they're not a Dodge dealership, because I think Dodge tries to standardize their dealership websites. You see there's options: cash, finance, this, that, the other. Click lease, because this video is about leasing. MSRP, obviously it's $59,320. Now, another question I get from you guys: power dollars or interest rates, incentives from Dodge that you guys see on the website or whatever it may be, or on those big posters they put outside of Dodge dealerships. Unless it says lease cash or lease offer or returning lessee, that doesn't apply to leases, okay? Usually the APR is talking about like a loan. It's not talking about a lease. And usually the cash off is talking about a cash deal or a loan, not a lease, okay? So just knocking down that bowling pin like I always have to. But if you're new here, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Anyway, down payment. This is a pretty generic lease down payment. With leases, you got to be careful with these. I have leased a car before. I have leased a Dodge before. I've leased a 2017 Dodge Charger Daytona, Destroyer Gray, best color, changed my mind. Leases are more complicated. There are more areas during a lease deal where if you're dealing with a dealership that is not a good dealership, or has a couple of crooked salesmen and sales managers, salesmen and women, because men and women can equally be nefarious. There are just more areas of a lease deal to get caught up in, because there's the mileage, there's the incentives, there's the term of the lease. Do you want this weird insurance protection on it? What is my down payment versus the taxes? What are the taxes compared to the security deposit? What is a money factor? Is a money factor the same thing as a interest rate? Do you see how I just started just going in a circle right there? All of those things make sense when you look at them separately, but when you start throwing in all those factors, you can get overwhelmed pretty quick, because I just overwhelmed myself right here. But I'm not overwhelmed enough to put an edit in this video, because these videos are not edited. With that being said, I do like this website because it actually gives you a payment. So, gonna get familiar here, folks. Try not to look at this middle stuff. That's just some fluff right here. Let's leave the down payment here. I already did a video on down payments pretty recently, so I'll put that up here if I remember to. But just type in WideBody Nation down payment and you'll see a Lambo with down payment stuff on it, okay? Trade-in value. I'm not gonna put anything there because some might have a trade-in, some might not. Some might have good value, some might not. But you should go get your trade-in value, because you're gonna be surprised at how high they. Okay. So incentives right here. And I'm sorry the text is small. If I start zooming stuff in, the computer is gonna just straight up destroy itself. Conditional offers on leases is where you usually make, or Conditional offers on leases is usually where you actually get some traction with getting some money off that the dealership doesn't really care about, okay? Because like power dollars or an interest rate on a finance deal, a dealership should not care that they're giving you that because that's money out of Dodge's pocket. That's not the dealership, that's Dodge. Now, some dealerships are crooked and they try to actually take your power dollars from you, but that's another video, right? Usually with leasing, there's like, they'll usually call it like a conquest to lease cash. So they're conquesting for customers. They're like Christopher Columbus. I know that's a polarizing issue these days, but they're conquesting to find new customers, new lands, you know? So they're willing to pay a little more, $500, maybe $1,000, $750. The market's tough right now, so between $500 and $1,000, I would say. Or they're trying to keep their current customers. So let's say you've been leasing, they want to keep you leasing or keep you as a customer, right? So returning lessee, $500. Looking for lessees, maybe they're willing to pay a little more because once they got you as a customer, they kind of know you're addicted to that WideBody life, or not. Maybe not. You're probably addicted to the WideBody life if you have Destroyer 1320s, neutral strap cover, because then your car won't get stolen. That's just my thoughts. Anyway, and then you could also stack on, you know, firefighters, first responders, any other discounts, whatever it may be. And then you can also negotiate, try to get them to lower the price with a dealer discount, because that's the difference. It's like there's Dodge discounts and there's stuff you qualify for, and then there's dealer discounts, which is where you're just hitting them with the zingers. Also, hydration break, but also you can hit them with that trade-in negotiation. Now, we are not changing any values here. I'm sorry I'm a little long-winded here, but like I said, 10, 12, or 15,000 miles. You can finagle a lease all the way up to 48 months, 24 months. Usually you can get it any which way to Sunday. Let's just stay a standard 36. Let's do 12,000 a year because that is only 1,000 miles a month. Now, I'll talk to you about the end of the video on like whether you guys should lease or not. Because I've already covered it in other videos. I want to show you numbers, okay? So $550 a month. This $551 a month right here for 36 months is based off of 12,000 miles a month, 36 months, $1,000 off because it's lease loyalty. We'll say they'll give you $1,000 off, okay? Whether you're new, whether you're coming back, whether you're just here so you don't get fined. MSRP was $59, and you put down $5,900 as a 10% down payment. Now, what this calculator is not very transparent about is the money factor, which is just another way of saying interest rate. I think they came up with the money factor because they want to confuse people. That's just my opinion. Why couldn't they just convert that to interest rate? But you can. If you want to, you can go on Google and just type in money factor to interest rate calculator, and then you'll know how bad or good it is, okay? Side note, if you go into the dealership and you say, hey, boom, 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 and you're mid-deal, and you're like, hey, what's the money factor the bank's giving me right now on this lease? They will probably know that you're not playing when you know what a money factor is, or when you even know to ask, okay? You don't have to be in there like swimwear actually knowing what a money factor is, but if you ask them to convert the money factor to an interest rate, or you do it yourself and write it next to it on the deal sheet, they're going to start tripping out. Left trade and value alone. Okay, so 551. This does not include tax, tags, title, dealer doc fees, whatever else they want to throw into the deal that you could or could not deny. Obviously, taxes, tag, and title, non-negotiable, but may vary depending on your state. Speaking of leases, taxation on leases. In some states, they will tax you the full MSRP of the car. In other states, they will only tax you on the leased portion of the car, the lease value of the car. I would have to pull up like an Excel spreadsheet or an actual calculator to show you that, and I think that's not going to be very valuable to you guys, but just know some states are different with leasing than others as far as taxation goes. But having a trade-in almost always helps you in the taxation department as far as saving money, okay? So there you have it right there. Without taxes, tags, and fees, $551 a month for 12,000 miles, 36 months. We're going to continue here. Same Challenger. We are going to go ahead and calculate our lease payments. look at that right here. Lease estimate on the Dodge website, which I'm trying to pull up for you guys. Okay, leasing. I know it's kind of like, I'm probably blocking it, honestly. Okay, so here, estimated monthly payment, $674 a month. Let's go to calculate payment, but it's way higher. Obviously, it's different, right? Because that's the whole issue right now, is that lease calculations are really hard compared to just finance calculations. That was only for 10,000 miles too, folks. Okay, so 12,000. 688 according to the Dodge website. So MSRP as base price, destination, options, down payment. Okay, let's put the dealer discount in because we put that in the last one. Okay, so $658 on the Dodge website. And the Dodge website even says it excludes the security deposit, tax title license, and other fees due at signing. Okay, folks? So just right here, you're on the Dodge website, same car. We got the blueberry color versus the mustard color. Same car though, $60K MSRP, same down payment within like $100 and same discount. $658 versus $551. Now, what do I actually think your lease payment would be on this car? Well, hydration break, and I will give you the full answer, okay? I would guess. Okay, let me premise this. I think that they're using good credit or great credit, okay? So you can assume that this is a very well qualified lessee or person who is leasing. So this is allegedly best case scenario. This is allegedly best case scenario, and it's even more fictitious. It's even more fake because they've got you doing a pretty big down payment. They did not include taxes. They did not include any other fees at the dealership, and they gave you $1,000 off, okay? So right now, for a $60,000 MSRP Scat Pack, I would say that if you are putting 10% down, you are almost certainly looking at leasing in the 600s. Now, that's for a $60,000 Scat Pack. For a $50,000 Scat Pack, I think you could be in the 500s pretty easily. Now, like I said, trade-in value, if you have some positive equity, which I bet you probably will if you check your trade-in value right now, because it is crazy out there. Crazy high. Credit, obviously, is important. Leasing, in my experience, is even stricter credit-wise than is financing, okay? Excuse me. I don't know why that is necessarily, but that is my experience. The best lease deal I ever got, this dealership had him at a tier 2, even though he makes a decent amount of money and has good credit and was already leasing from Dodge and was trading in his lease. And we had to really fight with them to get him into tier 1, which tier 1 is obviously higher, like better. So higher tier, that's lower money factor, aka lower, it would be lower interest rate and also less of a required down payment, less of a required security deposit. I believe he only had to pay taxes, tags, title, and he was out there with a $750-ish a month lease payment on a Hellcat WideBody 2020. It's pretty similar spec to mine, honestly, other than the Redeye, obviously. So I hope this video shows you, just on Dodge's website alone, the discrepancy that is going on with leasing. I mean, you can apply this to Corvettes, to Toyota Priuses, to Tesla Model S. I mean, Tesla's a little bit different car buying experience, but you understand what I'm saying. It is, if you come up to me and say, hey, I want that $60,000 car, my credit is this, and I want to pay for it for this long, I can tell you a monthly payment in a couple seconds. I mean, if you go to realwidebodynation.com, I got a monthly payment calculator right there with all the interest rates, with all the terms. It is a straight up Rain Man status style calculator. It's not just like a input, output. It shows you everything, so that if a dealership says, oh, do you want 0% or you want $1,500 off, you can beep boop bop boop and make that decision, just like you could on Edmunds.com. So, to wrap this video up, this very specific video, but you guys asked for it. To wrap it up, yes, leasing can be a good option, especially right now when good deals on cash offers and cash buys are hard to find. Now, I think the thing that a lot of people are missing out on is the fact that, yes, power dollars are gone, more or less. I mean, it's like $3 off per horsepower right now rather than 10, which 10 used to be good. I bought mine when it was about $8 off per horsepower. Now it's down to about 3-ish, okay? If you can qualify for 0%, I still think financing and taking the 0% is probably better, no matter if you're driving a lot of miles or a little miles or somewhere in between. Now, if you're the type of person who wants to be in and out of a car and you just like leasing, you don't like doing maintenance. I mean, I've talked about all these things in other videos. Leasing is good if you don't like to modify your car, if you don't really like thinking about your car very much, except for every about 3 years when you just get a new one and you get kind of the next best thing. Which is cool, for sure. You're kind of on the clock. But you do give up a lot of freedom when you're leasing, because as you guys see, you agree to 12,000 miles or 15,000 miles or whatever it may be. Now, depending on your contract, your additional mileage fees could be pretty low, maybe 20 cents a mile, 25 cents a mile. There's like a weird bug in here. But I've had the door open all day. But going over mileage might not be that big of a deal. Like if you're 25 cents a mile and you go over by 100 miles, that's only $25. Now, if you're going to go 1,000, like if you're going to do a bunch of cross-country trips, obviously leasing is probably not a good idea, okay? But personally, I still think the finance deals are better right now, especially when I'm trying to give you guys my opinion and trying to help you guys out as far as like my opinions on your deals. It is a lot easier for me to give you my opinion, my actual insightful opinion on finance or cash deals, because like I said, leasing is just, it's more complicated, okay? So not to make it more complicated, but if you have questions, maybe rewatch the video and go through the steps with the website. And that's the thing. If the car you want is not on the dealer's website, or maybe the dealer's website is crappy and doesn't show you this, try to do it on the Dodge, build it on the Dodge website, and try to find it on the Dodge website as well, because the more information you got, the better you're going to do. Maybe watch a couple other lease videos from, like maybe the one on if you're on the fence about leasing or not, maybe watch my other lease video on like leasing versus buying cash versus financing. Or you can kind of watch another maybe like more sterilized video where they're not focused on specific cars, perhaps. I don't know how to really help you guys more, other than if you guys want to hit me up on Instagram, Real WideBody Nation. There we go. This is me on Instagram. So if you guys want to DM me, that's the quickest way for me to get back to you, if we're just being honest. And yeah, so it looks like, I think I got a message from one of y'all right here. It's over in my requests. Yeah, so there we go. See, I got one of y'all requesting me right now. So with that being said, get your neutral strap cover on the way out. If you don't get this and then your car gets stolen and I get a DM from you or a post from you on Instagram, I won't say I told you so. I'll repost your car so people can find it, but your car probably wouldn't have gotten stolen. I don't know, just my opinion, if you had this neutral strap, because mine's gone and I haven't got another one yet. So I got a Ram 3500 diesel high output instead. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me know in the comments below. This video, I feel like I went down the rabbit hole a little bit. Let me know in the comments below if it was helpful. That's why I usually don't make a lot of leasing videos, because they're traps, okay? That's what they are. Appreciate you tuning in. I will see you guys for the next video, and stay safe out there.